Of a lady called Aliyah. Unfortunately, Aliyah couldn't travel up to be with us, but she felt very strongly that she wanted her story to be heard. I had an arranged marriage with my husband in April 2015. He is a distant relative of mine. I met him twice before we married, but always with other family members around. We only had a nikah ceremony. My husband did say to me and my family that we were going to do a civil marriage when I went to live with him. In my marriage, I kept on asking him, when are we going to do our civil marriage? He kept on saying, yeah, we will, but he kept on putting it off. We never had a civil marriage in the end. I was married for only 9 months. Within the 9 months, my husband and his parents kept me locked up in the house and took my phone away from me. They wouldn't let me talk to my family members. They were controlling my every move. My husband wouldn't even let me take the medication given to me by the doctors without his permission. And even then, he wouldn't let me take the actual dose that the doctor gave me. I needed permission from the pain relief I needed because of what he and his parents put me through. My husband wouldn't let me wear my headscarf and my abaya. His parents didn't like it, and he used to shout at me all the time because I was praying. He didn't like the fact that I prayed. Before marriage, I told him I prayed and that I wore a scarf. And he knew that. His behaviour made me feel so upset because I always wore my scarf and my abaya, and I consider my prayer my life, and he was insulting that. When I finally left him, he carried on harassing me and my family. He hacked into my email account and he sent malicious emails to all of my contacts. I received 30 calls from a private number. I knew these were from my husband, as there was no one else who would want to trouble me like this. The first couple of calls were silent. In later calls, he would try and disguise his voice and ask me questions like, I hear you've left your husband. When are you getting a divorce? I believe he was doing this to harass me. My family and I also received rude and abusive text messages from my husband. My husband didn't even care about me or our religion, and I don't think he is even bothered about the marriage or divorce. This really upsets me, as I thought he would care about me and our religion. We've now been separated for over 7 months. I have told the police about the harassment, and the police warned my husband not to contact me in any way whatsoever. My mother is supporting me, and she wants me to get a divorce from my husband. But I have to get an Islamic divorce because I only married Islamically. If I didn't get an Islamic divorce, my community would still treat me as being married. If I wanted to get remarried, I would be told by the community that I was wrong and sinful. I would be considered to be shaming the community. People would point the finger at me, no matter what, even though I have not done anything wrong. My close family might stick by me, but my extended family and community would disown me. I've seen a similar situation with my cousin, who tried to leave her husband because of domestic violence. When she divorced and remarried, she had to do it in secret. But the community talk about her badly, and she feels very isolated. She doesn't feel she can go to community or family events because people will point the finger at her. I don't know what the process will be for my Islamic divorce. I've heard that sometimes imams require the husband and wife to be in the room together. But my husband is not allowed to see me or contact me. I don't know if the imams will pay attention to the police warning. I'm worried about what will happen if my husband says he wants to reconcile. He has already tried to pressure me through relatives to reconcile. My family know I do not want this, but I understand Sharia councils sometimes encourage women to reconcile. For example, when my parents separated because of domestic violence, the imam wanted my mum to reconcile. He didn't ask about the domestic violence before he asked her to do that. What would that mean for me? I gave my husband 3 chances, and I'm not going to give him another chance. I'm worried about how Sharia law will be applied. I'm nervous that the Sharia council won't listen to me, and they would listen to my husband. And if my husband asks me to reconcile, they would want me to. But I've already given my marriage a chance, and he wasn't bothered. I believe that the Sharia council might behave this way because in my culture and religion, the man always seems to be the dominant and the important one, even if he is in the wrong. I don't trust that the Sharia council would make sure that I was treated fairly. My husband mistreated me in so many ways, emotionally and physically, and I don't think any guy who doesn't care about his own wife and faith deserves another chance. The religious courts and councils are not like the courts of this country. With the courts of this country, you know what rules they apply. I feel like Sharia courts can just apply any rules that they want. If each community has a different religious law, this can affect people, as women would not get much rights, and it would be an injustice for the woman to go through so many problems with their husbands. It's hard enough for women to face the community, and yet they have to then go and talk to their religious council to ask for a divorce. That is not right.